Hi there, this is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also the two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in sports. You can find him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Or you can watch him live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
Good morning. It is a live edition, a Friday edition of PodUp Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios, locations across the state of Florida. Right there is Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go check them out at International Diamond Center. We have British Open golf to talk about. We have the World Cup Championship, whatever the hell they call it, to talk about. SEC Media Days are cranking up. Game number 31 on the tee from the USA, Johnny Coco.
Oh, yes.
I absolutely love listening to these damn announcements.
Yes, you do. I see why it's different and it's fun to listen to. I just the morning QB.
Holy hell, Lucas
Herbert from Australia with one bad ear. He can't hear out of the right side of his head. He's got something called it's like one-sided hearing loss, deafness. He can't hear out of his right ear. Hits it a mile. Played from Australia. He's won 3 times on the European Tour, 1 time on the PGA Tour in 2021, and he has tied a record at the British Open for the lowest score after the front nine. Shot at 28.
He birdied 8 of his first 12 holes.
Yeah, he birdied 8 of the first 12 holes, 6 of the first 9, and he is 8 under. He just got a par on a par 5 coming out of 2 bunkers, so he's playing well. Hit a 6-iron, 226 yards on that par 5 after he had to chuck it out of a fairway bunker. He is he's tried to make it on the PGA Tour. He's got a funny story, QB. This is a great story.
I thought he was on the live.
He is on the live now, but he's tried a bunch of Monday qualifiers in the past. He's currently on the live, but he was trying to make a Corn Ferry start, and he decided that before the tournament, he was going to go ahead and he's from Australia. He's going to go get drunk. So he got drunk, and the tournament was in Columbus. He flew to Columbus, Georgia, and when he got to the rental car counter, they said, "Sir, you don't have a car here. Your car is in Columbus, Ohio." So he said, "Well, blimey." So he stayed a day in Columbus, Georgia, came back next morning of the tournament, got on a plane, early bird, made his 11 o'clock tee time in Columbus, Ohio, shot 69, hungover. So this guy's got quite a personality, apparently, but he's a live guy, and so right now he's leading. He's 8 under. I don't know if he'll last or stay there. So many guys haven't teed off yet, but the course is there for the taking, QB.
Oh.
There's no weather conditions. There's no wind. There's no rain. There's no nothing. The putts
even the rough, whatever they call it over there.
It's not that bad. The gorse.
The gorse is, you can hit it over there, and you can play out of it.
Yeah, you can play out of it. So really, the only defense this course has are fairway bunkers that just catch drives that happen to roll out and into a fairway bunker. That's really the only defense the course has right now. These guys are killing it, and half the field hasn't even teed off yet. So it'll be fun to watch this weekend. I think I've got to figure out a way to record it because I want to watch it later in the day. I don't like watching it at 7 o'clock and then blow my whole morning from 6 a.m. to 1 o'clock. I want to watch it later today. Anyway, so I hope we get some names. I mean, McIntyre. I have McIntyre. I have Scheffler. McIlroy is struggling to stay under par. He's even. I think your winning score here is going to be in the double digits, QB.
Yeah, Bruce, who never commented, but he's commenting now on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Shane, what happened to France? You said they were the best team in the World Cup.
So did I.
Sure.
I said that too.
That's right. The best team doesn't always win.
No. Well, I tell you, you got to give it to Spain, though. We keep saying France is the best team, but Spain is your European champion.
Right, but the experts will tell you that France is the best, but the best team does not always win. Let's talk about the New York Giants beating the undefeated Patriots. I mean, you can go on and on and on. That's sports. That's why you play the freaking game.
That's right. And so Spain and yeah, I think France will beat England in the consolation game. I think England suffered such a devastating loss when they had a 1-0 lead on Argentina in the 55th minute that I just don't think they're going to be up for this. And I think France will show some pride and
Are
beat
they going to be
England.
able to play this game, JC? Because the smoke in New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was unaware. Canada is sending its wildfire smoke down. Well, I don't know. Maybe they move it out of that dump. I almost said a bad word, but move it out of that dump in the Meadowlands and play the game in Atlanta. I mean, everybody'd be happier with that. I mean, who the hell wants to go to New Jersey? Then Sunday at what is it, 3 o'clock? You'll have the Argentina match. Spain's a slight favorite. Argentina in regulation gets plus 260 on that, so that's a pretty good number for a team as good as Argentina. They just don't die, dude.
I think
They
they're
are
going
the
to find a way
comeback
to
team.
win,
I mean, they
man.
come back. Yeah, nobody would be surprised. But Spain is playing so well in the midfield. They're such good defensively, and I think they beat the best team or the hardest team they were going to play in France. So if they did that and they can survive this Argentina rush in the second half rather, Spain is your favorite to win minus 160, and both teams to score is minus 120. I like that too. And listen, I think it's been a great World Cup. It's been a great experience. It's been a great bridge for our summer. It's really baseball has suffered during this World Cup. A lot of viewership has gone from that to soccer, and I think you'll have a good finishing game, a pretty memorable tournament. I think Messi will win the Golden Boot, and he'll whether he scores or not in the final game, you can almost get 2-1 on that. So I don't know. I think it's a good finish to a great tournament. They ought to have it in America every 4 years, QB.
I agree with that 100%.
They ought to.
Why
It's
do you
better.
think they have a consolation game?
Yeah,
Do you think Mbappe and
no,
Kane
no.
and what's the other guy's name? Jude. Do you think
Jude
they're going to
Bellingham.
sit out the game?
Right. No, I don't think they'll sit out, but I don't think England will be up for it. I mean, maybe they will. I mean, it is France. England and France have this historical rivalry on everything. But I think France is better. I think France will beat them. And England, they haven't won since 1966. They haven't passed the semifinals since 1966. That's a long damn time, man. And I don't know. I think France will find a way to finish them off.
When do they play that
I
game?
think both teams will score. That game's on Saturday at 5, and then we'll have the finals on Sunday at 3. Both games will be in the dump, otherwise known as MetLife Stadium, New York, New Jersey Stadium. It's awful, but they're going to play it there anyway. So
No,
I
JC,
guess.
have you ever been to that stadium?
Oh yeah, I've been.
It's not a bad stadium.
It's not a bad stadium. The location is horrible. That's I'll just tell you that right now. It sucks, dude. There's nothing there. It's just a parking lot and a bunch of swamp, and it's a pain in the ass to get there from New York. Everything's a pain in the ass to get anywhere in New York. It used to be great, but now it stinks. So you got to deal with that. But I think
you'll never see me there.
Well, the Euros. Well, look. I mean, if the Fighting Gators play Rutgers in Meadowlands, you'll go.
Well, I'm flying in on the team plane, and I'm flying right back.
Yes, you are. A plane and a bus, baby.
I don't think Rutgers plays at East Rutherford.
They don't. They
New
play on
Jersey
campus.
anymore.
They don't. They play on campus. That's a stupid thing I just said. But but speaking of college football, QB, I will have for you on Monday as I peruse through the weekend my sleeper teams to win in each Power Four conference, as well as my group of 6 surprise team to make the playoffs. And I will tell you right now, it won't be JMU because of that moron they have coaching them. He'll find a way to go 7-5, and it won't be JMU. So I'll find you a good group of 16 to think about, and I will give you the 4 Power Four sleeper cells on Monday. I've got 3. I know you laugh at this, but I have this one, I have this one, and I have this one, and I got one more coming. That's 4 magazines. I will be nobody in America will know more about the upcoming season.
No, because there's other people like you that read all them damn magazines too, JC.
Yes, but they don't get on the air with you, QB.
Well, that's true.
That's right.
AMAC has a question for you, JC, here
AMAC
on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing.
Okay.
Between Manchester United, Atlanta Braves Holdings, in MSG Sports, which stock do you think has the most upside potential?
MSG Sports.
You just, you've researched this, or
I
you just
think the
going off
fact
of,
that the Knicks won and what we're going to see with the Knicks coming up next year, because most of that team's intact, the momentum is going to continue for the Knickerbockers, and I think the Rangers will make the Stanley Cup playoffs next year. They just can't miss it 2 years in a row. That's not going to happen. And then, of course, you had Taylor Swift's wedding at the Garden. You've had so many events that there are so many things that go on in that arena that we don't know about. It is the Paramount Theater. It is so much more. The Madison Square Garden is like the fifth floor in that building. So it's my choice. I get the thing about the Braves, and the Braves are going to falter in the second half of the season. I have a
you're
feeling the
talking
Phillies.
about a stock.
I know, but the stock MSG Holdings that's Dolan, Jimmy Dolan. I mean, he
Okay,
owns
well,
the
I just
Knicks.
thought you started talking about the Braves losing and
Well,
this.
the Braves are part of that holding that he's talking
I know
about.
that.
And I think if they lose, that's bad. You want successful teams because you want merchandise sales, you want games, you want TV
I think
ratings, you
people
want all
buy
that.
Braves stuff no matter what.
Well, maybe, but the Knicks are hot, man. Right now, the hottest thing in New York, other than that mayor, I guess, is the Knicks. And so, winning that title in first time in 50 years, I mean, that's my answer. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's going to be the answer for AMAC. Go get them, AMAC.
So about concrete, builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it. We stand by it. We got a bunch of text here, but they wouldn't come up. So I'm turning my phone off and turning it back on to see if
Oh, QB, update your phone
it's a
once in a
brand
while.
new phone.
Oh,
It's less than 5 months old,
oh,
but it
refund,
sucks.
refund. Did you go spend money on a 17 or something? Is that what you
I
did?
think it's a 16 I got.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right.
I had like a 9. It worked fine. It just the battery wouldn't work.
Battery sucks. Yeah, I have to charge this thing. This is a 13. The battery has to go on the charger about around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's battery time. So I have a lot of these pads that sit around where I work, and I just stick it on the pad. It charges up. I charge it in the car. I've still got the old charger on here. It's just, this is how they get you. They make you renew everything and upgrade everything in 3 years. So anyhow, good morning to Nat Blaylock. Love it. Steely Dan on JC on 715, UF paid the QB whisperer $1 million and the bum 2.65 million. Yeah, well, you know what? Hey, Steely Dean, I hear your frustration, but at least you're not writing that check. But maybe you are in an indirect way. Yeah, that's just the way it goes, brother. Sometimes these decisions don't work out, Steely.
Gator Josh from Wymama on the Titan Mark text line says there's a video on Twitter of Jerry Rice chasing down a heckler who was making fun of his backswing. If someone was heckling you at the golf course, would you do anything, or what would your reaction be? Well, first of all,
Was that at the
um,
American Century deal over there in Marina?
I have no idea,
It
but
has to be. Jerry Rice doesn't
if they
play.
do it, it had to be in fun because that thing on TV is all about fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know what kind of game Jerry Rice.
QB Trevor Lawrence was just he and Baker Mayfield were holding court on that 17th hole, the par 3 where everybody just gets snockered. Trevor Lawrence is over there doing shots. Baker Mayfield is doing shots. I got videos of my boy Baker at the resort with his wife Emily just getting hammered, and it's fun time. It's the one last time they have to cut loose before it's time for the very difficult training camp that's coming up in the heat of summer. So
They're not very difficult anymore.
no, probably not. But yeah, it's their last big party, I think. Trevor's
What's
a
crazy
partier,
about
man.
Baker is
Well, Baker's
Baker
great.
plays left-handed.
I love Baker Mayfield. I'm telling you, I've
He's got a
learned
great swing.
I've learned so much about Baker Mayfield because one of my wholesalers is one of his best friends. And so he shares all these great stories and videos. And man, that guy knows how to have a good time. Here's a good story about Baker Mayfield. His first contract, his parents were there, was his advisory. He's estranged from his parents because they stole his
They
money.
stole his money.
They took his money, basically invested it terribly. He's suing them. They lost. They haven't made any payments. So I'm saying, well, just go back to the courthouse then. But it's a bad situation. He comes to his senses and leaves Cleveland, goes to Tampa, signs $100 million deal, and now the Bucks are negotiating with him on a on another contract, but what he wants and what they're willing to pay is a little bit far apart. But they'll work it out and figure it out, and he's done great. I mean, he's done great things. He is Tampa's quarterback, and he'll be in Tampa probably the rest of his career.
You know what? Baker's a competitor.
It's great. He's Heisman Trophy winner. You know, he had to
beat his ass off.
Yeah, and he walked on. What'd you say? He walked on at Texas Tech.
Walked on at Texas Tech. He comes from a lot of money. His family, his
Yeah, well,
dad
they
was
lost
a banker or something.
Yeah,
But anyway,
well-
long story short, didn't work out for him in Cleveland. I think he went to the Panthers. Then he went to the Rams
Yeah.
for a couple of weeks.
That's
And
right.
I think Liam Cohen was the one that brought him to Tampa. I don't really know, but he's a damn good football player. This text on the Titan Mar text line from Kevin wants to know who's going to be must watch at SEC Media Days next week.
Oh well, I think they're all must watch if you really love this stuff. If you want to watch it. But certainly the new coaches that are in the conference, I think everybody's going to be interested in John Summerall. Why wouldn't they be? And then the players that John's bringing are marquee names on this team, on this roster. So I think they're a very interesting group, the Florida Gators. I have a list of all of the teams and all of the players that are going. I'd have to take a minute to look it up, but then I'd be able to give you a better answer. But I think the whole episode, the whole event is going to be very interesting because now we're getting to the time of year that we all love the most. So, who do you think, QB, off the top of your head?
Well, I think obviously people who watch this program are going to want to see Coach Summerall. Look, he's going to be great at the podium, I believe.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lane's going to do Lane stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's a definite must watch.
Yeah.
Media days. So media days will have, LSU's going to bring TJ Daugherty, Trey Des Green, and Whit Weeks. So 2 linebackers and a tight end. That doesn't seem very interesting to me.
Whit Weeks is the guy that dates his daughter.
Yeah. Ole Miss is bringing Trinidad, Will Eccles, and Kewan Lacey. So I would say Mississippi with Pete Golden.
Speaking of that, we had a text from Jimmy on the Titan More text line in Memphis. He wanted to know if I saw the Heisman campaign that Ole Miss has thrown out. I did see it on Twitter. Cool. It spells out Heisman, but for the E, it has a number 6. And then for the S, it has a number 5. So they're promoting both Kewan Lacey, who's number 5, and Trinidad, who's number 6. Pretty original. I like the bumper stickers and everything they got going on.
I think you'll see a lot of attention given to Texas when Arch Manning shows up with Colin Simmons and Trevor Gooseby, and obviously LSU. So it's going to be a great event. A lot of media. Auburn is a team I would pay attention to. That's our first SEC opponent. It's the 3rd game of the year. It's going to be a very important road game. Champ Anthony, their D-back, Byron Brown, their quarterback, and Alex McPherson, a kicker, is going for Auburn. But Byron Brown is the big story there as the new quarterback with his new coach, of course, Alex Golish from South Florida. They've got a lot of rebuilding to do. They've got a lot of players to replace. But you catch a team early in the year before they really know who they are, and it could be dangerous. So we'll see. But that's the big one, man. That's one of the big ones for Florida. That's September 19th. I've circled that date because I have to make sure I'm here.
Yeah, so. I'm not buying any stock in the Auburn Tigers. Okay. I think Golish is a good coach. I think he did a phenomenal job.
Got a lot of rebuilding to do. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the quarterback.
Okay.
Their offense is gimmicky. And just like Tennessee's, it's the same offense.
Yeah.
I just think it's very gimmicky. Their route, they only throw like 3 routes. I think Florida wins that game. I think we're a better football team. We should win the damn game.
Better. I agree with you. But look, South Florida was successful with Golish, and they were successful
in that league. Yes, JC, you got to remember they're a group of 5 team.
Did they beat the Gators?
I don't give a damn who they beat. Yes, they did. We beat ourselves. That's when our snapper snapped one over. Our All-American snapper snapped one in the end zone. Look, if you make Byron Brown throw the football, you will win the game 1,000% of the time. Mm-hmm. He's one of the worst throwers in the league.
I hope you're right.
In the country, I should say.
Well, he's going to start for the Auburn Tigers.
Well, because that's his coach. He should, like I said yesterday with Brent Beer, he should be wearing number 32 on his jersey. He is a tailback.
Yeah, I know a lot of those players, QB.
Yeah. And these coaches that run these gimmicky offenses, they want that guy because they only have so many play calls and they're basically, you make me look good by running around.
So you're
So,
saying he wouldn't play for Kerwin Bell?
no, absolutely not. Did you know gold and silver have outperformed the S&P 500 over the last 25 years? Money Metals specializes in helping first-time investors, plus they're owned by two Gator grads, Mike and Stephen Gleason. To learn more, visit moneymetals.com.
All right. So I will tell you, Auburn is not going to be one of my sleepers out of the SEC. I have one team out of each Power Four that's going to be a sleeper team that's got a real chance.
Don't give it away, JC. People
I'm not going to give it away.
They're going to be sitting on the edge of their seats all weekend.
That's why this is called a tease.
Yeah.
So we're teasing Monday's fine show as we get into SEC Media Days next week. So it is next week, right? Am I correct about that? It is next week, right? So so that's what we're going to start talking about. At least I am. Soccer will be over. Baseball just getting started the second half, and that's it, man. We go into the talking season. I mean, the serious talking season now as we get ready. Yeah.
Buck on your Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law says the Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma stretch is going to make or break the season.
No,
I've said this, and I hope I'm wrong. Beating Texas in Austin and beating Georgia in Atlanta, very unlikely.
Not realistic. So I can give you another stretch.
But OU, we can beat them here.
Another stretch of games that's going to be crucial is, well, they all are, but Mississippi at Missouri and Auburn or South Carolina, either one. You got to win 2 out of those 3 in my mind. I mean, look, I've got them going to 8 wins, QB. They're 8-4. That's my money. My money is on 8-4. So I'm not going to make a big secret out of it. They got to win one of these games on the road, likely. They're going to have to win either at Auburn or at Missouri. Yes, they're going to have to win at Kentucky. They're going to have to win at Florida State. These are road games. So Florida can do it, and certainly the advantage is playing at home. But this is a really good schedule. I don't think it's as hard as last year's, though. I don't, but we'll see. It could be hard.
Those road games you just mentioned, I think the most difficult one is Missouri.
Well, no, I think it's Texas. But
no, you didn't mention that one.
I
bet between Missouri, Kentucky, Florida State, and
Auburn.
Yeah, I think the most difficult one will be the Missouri.
Now, do they have that? I got to read
that place lulls your ass to sleep.
Well, and not to mention, Drink's got a pretty good team. Missouri was 8-5 and 25, but they've got a cumulative 21-5 record in the last 3 or however many years, 2 years. So now their running back is a guy named, I think he got hurt in a car accident. Hardy, I think is his name.
Yeah, he's the All-American running back. Yeah, we don't know. No,
Ahmad Hardy.
He went back to Mississippi where he grew up and got shot.
Oh, he got shot. I thought it was a car accident. Okay, he got shot. That's great. Well, that's not great. But
or not.
I don't know about that kid's status. But that game with Florida is October the 3rd. That would be their 5th game, and Florida's.
So JC,
Florida's 5th game.
Question for you real quick. This text brings up a great point. I know you're big into trends, right?
I love trends.
Okay. Well, Summerall beat the crap out of South Florida head to head.
Cool.
Okay. There's one of your trends for you.
Like that. That's a good trend. Well, I mean, listen, he obviously has figured out a way to stop that offense. Sounds like.
It's gimmicky, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I listen, we're all very high on him. I mean, we like the guy. We know him much better now than we did when he was hired. All we knew then was his record. But you've been to his house, you've met him, you've seen things, and those are important when you try to get to know somebody new. You want this guy to be here for the long term. You want him to be here for 10 years. You want him to make the program back into what it was with the last coach who was here for 10 years, because there hasn't been one in a very long time. So that's the hope, is that this guy
I'm trying to think, JC, you just brought up something we can talk about next week.
Sure.
You talked about like Coach Spurrier was here 12 years, Urban here, what, 7 or 8, whatever.
Yeah.
Did they lose any of their coaches I know Coach Spurrier lost Stoops, but did Urban lose any of his assistants while he was here?
I'd have to
Dan, I think Dan took the Mississippi State job like Urban's last year.
Okay.
Well,
Urban was here 5 years. So
the
5 years.
reason I say that is I
Continuity.
don't think Buster Faulkner is going to be here very long.
Oh, well, listen, that depends on how successful he is, right?
Well, he won the offensive coordinator.
Right. If he's the hot gun, listen,
Yeah.
if the Gators are lighting up the scoreboard, brother, and he's the hot gun and Philo is in the talk for the Heisman, then hell yeah, he's a short lister. That's just the way it works, right, QB? They all want to be head coaches, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So no, I hear you. I want that success, but John will find somebody. Listen,
Well, I think his quarterback coach he likes a lot.
There you go. This is a small business coaching, dude. It's a small business, meaning there's not a whole lot of them that can coach at this level, and so and win a lot. So I think he'll be fine there. I'm not worried about the assistants. I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, Nat says Mullins last year was 08. Urban's last year was 2010. Yeah.
Bruce Green wants to know comparison between Golish and Summerall. Do you have one?
I think Summerall's a very good football coach. I don't know enough about Golish. He was an assistant under Heupel. I don't know. I've said this being around Summerall. I think he's got a really good staff. Really good staff.
Yes. Well,
and I think he's got a lot of characteristics of Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier.
Well, I mean, those are the two best they've ever had here.
Yeah, Buck says just keep Troutwine. I don't think you're going to lose Troutwine. He's at his alma mater now.
How old is Phil?
Phil was on he was either on the 06 or 08 national championship team.
Well, he's not that old.
No, and
he's in his 40s.
Not going to get a head job. Nothing against offensive line coaches, but not many O-line coaches get head jobs. He could possibly, if he has any aspirations, maybe of the National Football League at some point. But
Michael Schneider says Hardy will play against Florida in his mind. And yes, I was wrong. It's not a car accident. He got a bullet. Gosh, that's horrible to think about. Anyway, so no, you're right. Missouri is going to be a tough one. They have Texas A&M at home after Florida. I always look at the teams that are coming the next week when you have a big game. I don't know why I think that's important, but for some reason I just do. And then of course the team they play before you play them. How physical will that game be? Is there a week off? Is there not a week off? It's no fun playing a team like Georgia and then the next week traveling to LSU, or a team like a hard-hitting team like, I don't know, Mississippi, and then playing a team the following week up in Knoxville. This league is just the way it is in that regard, where you have combination games that are back-to-back either before or after, that you worry about looking ahead, and then you worry about, how beat up did you get before you play. I think scheduling is a big deal. It's a big deal because there's no balance in scheduling. They're either easy or they're hard. And then some are just kind of in the middle of the road. I think Florida has a middle of the road schedule. It can be hard.
Like seventh in America.
Yeah, I know it's hard, but I think it's easier than last year's schedule. I might be wrong about that. I could be totally wrong about that, because one of the teams on Florida's schedule is what I think is going to be a threat to win the league, and they're not predicted to. In fact, they're not even.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I won't spill the beans.
Don't spill the beans, because I think I mentioned it, but
I'm not even going to say that because I'll give it away. Okay.
Well, but I think you might, deep down in your inner sanctum, you might actually agree with that.
Well, I like the guy a lot.
Oh, I know you like him. They have a big one that they play on a neutral field. I'm already giving it away. But
Alberto in Miami Lakes on the Titan Mar text line. We'll get you out of here. We got to get to Kerwin. He says, what kind of culture will Coach Summerall build when practice starts, and why will it be better than Mullins and Napier's? Well, he's already been building that culture. Look, you've seen it in the weight room. I'm not a weight room guy, but you see all kinds of stuff over Twitter. But he's a hard ass, man. It's accountability. If you are not competing your ass off, you're not going to play. It does not matter who you are, and what the NIL checks are paying you.
I love that.
He's
God.
going to play the best players how Urban and Coach Spurrier played.
You cannot buy him. He cannot be paid off. And that was the
And
problem.
if for whatever reason, player X he's one of our 5-star guys, and they got this transfer from Wofford that's better than him, they're going to play that guy. He knows he has to win, and he expects to win now.
Well, what I like is that if the guy's getting a big check and he's not getting it done on the field, he's not going to play, like the one we had last year and the year before. So the one with the big check doesn't guarantee he's going to play because some booster, some guy, some benefactor says he has to play. The coach needs to say, no, he's not going to play unless he works and wins the job. That's how he's going to play. Well, then you're not going to get the money. Okay, then we won't have the kid either. So I think you gotta decide what are you going to be? What are you going to be? Are you going to be a hardworking team? You're going to be soft. And we've
been soft for a long time.
That's what I'm saying. Those days are over, QB.
Yeah. All right, JC. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend, and we cannot wait. Wait for your predictions on Monday.
Well, I've got the research, so I'm going to.
That's JC. Join us on the Titan More Hotline. A quick timeout. Come back. We'll be joined by former Gator great quarterback, now the head ball coach of the Catamounts of Western Carolina, Kerwin Bell. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, JF Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, Castaway Sauce, UF Health Orthopedics, Michael Schneider PLLC, Florida Legends Gala and Experience, Money Metals, Sensei Asian Bistro. Our gridiron sponsors are Baker Sports, Florida Cracker Oyster, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Rue's Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, International Gold and Diamond, Advocare, and MGA&A Wealth. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook or YouTube. Listen to podcasts wherever, on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And to advertise, be sure to call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Naysayers. Setbacks. Injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Warfel? Or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends Experience on Sunday, August 23rd. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and your football signed by the Gator Heisman winner. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of the Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be part of Gator history.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Florida Cracker Oyster Bar and Grill's the ultimate spot for seafood and more. No matter the occasion, they're ready to welcome you Florida Cracker style. Check them out over in Keystone Heights. We're waiting a few minutes for Kerwin. He was out on the field. He forgot about his interview, like most of these former athletes do. So he should be chiming in here in just a second. Let me get to some text in the meantime. And this is why y'all want all these former players on. You can't trust them. This is from Rick. He says on the Titan Tomorrow text line, well, he wants me to ask Kerwin. So I'll wait till we get Kerwin on. Hopefully he'll hurry up and call in. I just got off the phone with him. Buck says Phil's around 40 or 41 years old. Okay. Phil Troutwine he's referring to. And then Matt Gator says, don't discount the difference Rusty Witt has made with the team. Yeah, we'll see. Still got to go block, tackle, and all that good stuff. But they're doing some good stuff there, supposedly. All right, I don't know what the hell Kerwin's doing. All right. In the meantime, we're just going to sit here and read stuff until he joins us. And by the time he joins us, it'll be time for the show to be over. And y'all can get on Kerwin's Twitter and tell him he's late. That's a finable offense. He needs to run gassers and all that good stuff. Kanye Ryan off of YouTube brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Shane, have you played golf with Summerall? He's not a golfer. I've seen him on the golf course a couple of times. He only plays a couple times a year. He likes to wear the golf clothes though. And now my battery on my laptop with YouTube died. So it's one of those great days rolling right now. All right, so I don't know if Kerwin's joining us or not. I literally just talked to him, sent him the link to call in. He forgot. So we shall see. Andy's question on Facebook Live brought to you by Mellow Law. Did John Reeves ever talk about the Florida flop and what that meant to him to achieve that NCAA record? He did not. I didn't even know about the Florida flop until I got out of college. I know that was a big thing. I think that's one reason why Miami hates the Gators as well. People can kind of probably fill me in more on that, but I don't know a whole lot about it, quite honestly, Andy. But John Bob, as we like to call him, never mentioned it at all. Mike says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, we came back from our honeymoon a day early to go to the Auburn game when Kerwin limped across the goal line. Yeah, I think that was a 2-point conversion, if I'm not mistaken. And so anyway, we got a bunch of tips on it. All right, we got Kerwin finally joining us. We'll have about 10 minutes. That's great. Now we got to get him to unmute. Coach Bell,
we got it, man. I got it, man. I got so excited about our workouts this morning. We had some competition going on, so I was so excited about that. I forgot about you, buddy.
You need a better assistant to do your appointments. All right, real quick, we got a couple things we need to talk about here. Let's talk about your thoughts on the 84, 85 teams that you played. 84 may be the best team ever in the history of Florida football. Just give me your thoughts on that. Obviously, they're not recognized as SEC champs. Does Kerwin think they should be?
Well, naturally, I do. You know, being a player on that team and seeing how we overcome a lot of negatives and the scores we put up. Like you said, if you look at the scores and the way those games went, we dominated pretty much. Other than that LSU, you know, tie there early in the year. Once we got on the roll in SEC play, we dominated those scores. I mean, you talking. Well, we beat Georgia 27-0, Auburn 24-3, or something like that. I mean, there was some dominant scores throughout that season. So, yeah, I believe we should. You know, listen, Michigan, they brag about what they've done in their national championship a couple of years ago, and you can tell we know that they cheated a lot, and I don't know how much we cheated or whatever, but I do know the players that were there won a championship on the field, and. You just as a player, you wish that, you know, the Gators and the university would continue to appreciate what we were able to do, because it was a group of guys who who played their guts out for the University of Florida. When everybody was against us, we found a way to come together and win a championship.
Miapa Latin Cafe, proud to support Gator Nation for 23 years. Best Latin food north of Miami. Check out one of their 5 locations today. Kerwin, let's talk about your team. You had a really good quarterback last year, went into the portal. When I spoke with you a couple of weeks ago, he was still in the portal. What's the status? Is he signed with anyone?
Yeah, he had a bunch of offers early, but how that portal works, man, people go on to the next guy if you don't commit, and he just kept trying to hold out and sort of got himself in a tough situation. Was going to go to North Carolina, and that didn't work out in the summer, so he was going to miss all the spring anyway. But he finally signed with Eastern Illinois, so proud of it. It's an FBS program. He's a good football player, and he's going to have a great year. I really do. I believe he's as good a player. He had as good a year as I've ever seen it from a quarterback as far as, coaching one or being around one. It was a fantastic year. 38 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, Shane. The 2 interceptions, one was on a throw that we threw a Hail Mary right before halftime, and they picked it off. And then the other one went through the tight end's hands and bounced off his hands, and the guy behind him picked it off. So 38 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 75%, almost 80% completion. So he was unbelievable.
Annie's question for you, Kerwin, on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law. How would you assess your young quarterback room? Is the game one starter still up for grabs?
Yeah, we've got 2 guys we really like. One guy's been here with us and just grown within our program. He's a redshirt sophomore, Isaac Lee, 6'3", one of the fastest guys on the field every Saturday. He can flat out run, but he's a pocket passer. Both of them. And the other one is Lex Thomas, who was a backup at North Carolina State. Comes from a football family, man. His dad played college ball. His 2 brothers played in the NFL. Drake is a starting linebacker for Seattle Seahawks, Drake Thomas. And so Lex is, he's really come in here this spring and just showed a lot of leadership. He's got a lot of ability also. What I like about them, they both, Shane, they got the number one characteristics we like is being a Hall of Fame point guard, right? They can distribute the ball at a very efficient rate. Both of them this spring has been over 80%, 75% completion percentage. Their touchdown interception ratio has been outstanding. They make great decisions. But the great thing about both of them, man, is sort of what Tiger gave us last year. They can improvise and they can extend plays with their feet. And so they both are very athletic. So it's going to be a good competition. They're still sort of 1A, 1B right now, and as we get into camp, and we'll see what happens.
Kerwin, talk about, I know you love coaching football. You coached at every level, and you're a competitor. You love putting a team together to go try to win a championship. How difficult is it now at your level? Because you find these diamonds in the rough, recruiting your tails off, not just you, but your coaching staff and other coaches at your level. Guy has a good year, then you lose him due to dollars to the big schools. How difficult is it now at your level?
Well, I think everybody, goes through sort of that situation, but at our level, it is tough. But what we've got to do, you got to find another way, Shane. I said something about that the other day. My life, man, I've been in some tough situations and some negative situations that you can look at, but what you got to do is just find the positives, man. So what we're trying to do is find the positives in this situation. One of those things, Shane, is that there is some talented high school players still left on the board every year, and we're able to go in and I think get our high school level of athlete is a lot more here in the last 2 or 3 years, just because there's some that's out there that's not getting offers, and they're dropping to us. But with that being said, man, what's so tough about it, Shane, is every year I'm a builder, man. I love to build my program. I love to every day look at my roster and say, okay, where are we going to be better as we build this program? And your guys are going to be with you for 2, 3, 4 years, and you go win a championship and build that program year by year. That don't happen anymore, man. Every year you're hanging on to your tail. You're sort of waiting to see what your team is. You asked me what kind of team we got. I really don't know, and I think a lot of teams are like that. You got such a turnover. And the one thing we're seeing is, like, this year we have a lot of good football players, we think, Shane, but a lot of them hadn't played that much. If they played and they produced, they're at the FBS level. So the ones we've got coming back are guys we think are very talented, but they hadn't produced a whole lot, So that's what you get. And so going into the season, really the last 2 years, man, it's got to the point where you're sort of hanging on and see, hey, what are we going to be? And we were 0-3 last year because Tiger was suspended. But then when he came back, man, we really got going and had a good season that last 9 games. But you hope you hit it right on a few players and hope they come in and play together as a football team. But man, it's a totally different situation than it was 4 or 5 years ago.
On the Titanamar text line from Rick, he asked, Kerwin, after everything you've experienced as a player, a coach, and watching college football evolve, what's one thing you hope never changes about the game? And what is something you wish they would bring back?
Well, I think the big thing is for me is just guys continue to play for their universities and play for the passion of what college football is all about. That's where I hope we don't get to the point where we lose that and just becomes about money. Guys, they don't want to practice. They don't want to play hard. They don't want to prepare the way they have in the past because, they've already been paid and the money's there and money is evil, man. It's a tough thing when you start dealing with a lot of money and players trying to get them to play at a high level. That's one thing here, man, I don't have to deal with as much probably is I've got guys who truly want to play the game of football and they're still that same way we were when we played, man. They give them a scholarship, help pay their way here, help them get their degree, and man, they want to go play and win a championship. Somebody asked me the other day, you wish you would have ever coached at Florida, and I said, yeah, I'd love to coach there. But man, to me, every year I rev up this thing for the fall and we get going and we build this football team. Man, we're trying to do something just as important as the University of Florida is trying. Those coaches are trying to do. We're trying to win a championship. We expect our players to understand that they're in a position maybe they've never been in their life, and that is to win a first conference championship in Western Carolina football history. And, that's some big stuff, man. When you do something for the first time in history, you should go out and give it your best shot. And that's what our guys there, man, I was out there this morning with them. They're busting their butt, and we're putting together a good football team. What I'm proud of, we come here to a university that hadn't had any winning seasons in the last few years. I think 1983 is the last time they've been in the playoffs and had a winning record, really, and which is, 20-something, 30 years ago. So to come in here now in 4 years, we're expected to win this conference the last 2 years, and we've been in second place. Just hadn't quite got it done, but we're still up again. So we've built this program to where people recognize it and they respect it, and that's what I'm proud about is having young men that want to come to work and be college football players and go out and represent this university.
I'll help you out. You said they hadn't done anything since 1983?
Yeah.
43 years, partner. 43. I was good at math.
Is that how long? They went to the national championship that year and lost in the finals. So
yeah, so 43 years ago. All right, speaking of the Mighty Gators, a lot of people may not know this, but when you were the head coach at Jacksonville University, John Sumrall was on the staff at San Diego, and I believe y'all coached against one another. I don't know if you know Coach Sumrall or not, but what do you think he brings to the Florida Gator football program?
Well, I think the big thing is that as a head coach, man, what you got to do is you got to understand what your job is and where you're at and the fishbowl that you're in. And to me, you got to really believe in the things that you believe in, and don't let anybody sway you in that area. And man, he seems that kind of guy, man. He's a tough customer, you can tell, and he's committed in the ways that he knows to build a program. He's done it already a couple times. And so he has a conviction, man. I think there's a lot of coaches, especially, the great thing is he's been a head coach. I think what you see is sometimes these assistant coaches, they've done great as a coordinator, defensive offense coordinator. But man, when you're put into a fishbowl like University of Florida, you've never been a head coach, and all of a sudden, how do I do this? How do I commit to this? What's my way to do this and make sure that I don't fall into that trap of saying, well, that didn't work, let's try something else. I think he has a really good conviction just watching him and listening to him. He has a great conviction on how he wants to build the program and how he's going to put together a championship football team. He's done it. So that conviction's there, man. I think that's going to help him be a really good football coach.
Gary on the Titan Mar text line in New Orleans wants to know, Kerwin, what do you look for in your quarterbacks?
Well, I've told you before, Shane knows this, a Hall of Fame point guard, man. And why I say that is I want a guy who can distribute the ball to the open guy efficiently. And if you can do that, think about it. I mean, it's not that hard. I see so many coaches out there. They're going out and getting the portal, getting these guys who are 6'5", 250 pounds. And, they complete about 55% of their passes, and they can throw it 80 yards. Maybe they do that one time in a year, have to throw an 80-yard Hail Mary or something. But most of the time, the only time you don't throw over is what? Shane, how far you ever throw a pass in a game? Maybe 45, 50 yards?
They've done studies, a go route's supposed to be complete right around, 48 to 52 yards.
42. Yeah, 42, 44. Yep.
Yeah.
So he may do all those things. He may make a throw in a game that my kid can't make because he's so talented, man. He's so big and strong. But by God, are you going to be consistent? It's very simple, and then they worry, why is our offense not consistent? Well, you're out there playing with a guy who don't efficiently distribute the ball. And what I mean by that, a guy who can make great decisions, can hit the open guy. And because if you do that, you don't keep yourself in great down and distance. And then if you do that, you're going to be consistently be able to score points and be one of the top teams. I brag about this, Shane, because I'm proud of it, man. We've led the nation, Shane, and an offense 3 different places. Name me somebody else that's done that. And we've done it because we picked the right players. And that's why we've been consistent. It ain't about, listen, we all run the same routes. I think all the little intricate things that Coach Spurrier taught me that he had all these little ways that he did things that was special. But in the end, still come down to the kind of players you pick. And I've just always been able, because I don't go by size, man. You better have the characteristics of being a great point guard and be able to be efficient as a quarterback. And your touchdown interception ratio, 38-2, I'll take that. I'll take what I had. The kid I had, we won the national championship, 50-4. You do those kind of things, a complete 70%. By God, my mama could call the plays. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have a guy who can make decisions and always make the right play. If it's a 2-yard run, if it's a 3-yard check down, whatever that is, he makes that. That he makes that offense go because you're going to be in great down and distance. And so that's my number one priority. If he can run, that's another incentive. That's great. If he can, if he's big, that's now you got an NFL guy probably. But the first thing he's got to have is that ability to be efficient and operate the offense at a high skill level.
Well, the people that listen to this program around the world hear that on a daily basis from my mouth. So it's good to hear it from somebody else. Kerwin, great stuff.
Well, Shane, it's funny. They ask me, so why do y'all, every time you put a new guy in, he plays as good as the other ones? It's because, Shane, I don't recruit guys who ain't got those qualities, right?
Yep.
If you go recruit a guy that's a high efficiency guy and he's your starter, and all of a sudden you just went and got some guys that were sort of athletic but didn't have those qualities, then all of a sudden he gets hurt. You put in a guy that's totally different. Well, when I put in another guy, like these 2 guys are both the same. They're both efficient. 2 guys I've got right now. And, if we had to play the one last year, if Tiger would have got hurt, we would have played another guy who was just as efficient. So we're going to have those kind of guys on our roster. And that's why when we replace a guy, we try to keep the offenses the same, as far as being able to go out and score a lot of points.
Yep. And that's why you've been a consistent winner. You've had great play at the quarterback position. It reminds me of Coach Spurrier's era. I mean, every guy was the same guy, no matter who you put in the game. So you coach them up as well. And you've done a great job, Kerwin. We appreciate you taking the time. By the way, since you were late, you need to run like 10 gassers today, okay? 10 gassers for being late.
Yeah, they pushing sleds out there, Shane. They doing it like 30 or 40 yards. It's a competition deal, how fast. But man, I said this ain't nothing. Back when I was in college, I remember my senior year. I was telling them a story. Emmett was a freshman, #1 recruit in the nation, and coach had us out there doing 100 yards. We were pulling that sled 100 yards. You remember that, Shane? I don't know if y'all did that. Okay, well, we were pulling them 100 yards. And I remember looking up Emmett, true little freshman during the summer. He's throwing up everywhere. He wasn't used to that in high school. But no, our guys working extremely hard. That's Shane, now our OTAs in June and July. We've had our team here June and July. So we're having to get a lot of work done because you got such a new team. You know,
Yeah.
really spring is really not as important now as our June and July segments. So our guys will work another Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll give them off for about 6 days, and then we got a report date on July 29th. So,
Wow.
so it's almost here, man. But our guys have done a great job this summer, and they're ready to go.
Good stuff. Good luck, Coach, this week. This year. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
Okay, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Kerwin Bell, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play at the University of Florida, join us on the Titan Tomorrow Hotline. Castaway Hot Sauce, try their signature ball kicker sauce, inspired by the HBC Steve Spurrier and his famous kick in 1966. Thanks to JC and Kerwin. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday, folks. Take care.